In 2017, my dev team and I first learned about the ERC-721 non-fungible token, or NFT. Our team was an ultra-lean R&D unit of a mid-sized software company responsible for conceptualizing, building, scaling, and launching digital products. We saw huge potential in this space and got to work. Witnessing the launch of CryptoKitties, we thought that the next logical step in the digital collectible space was licensed digital content. And so we set out to create Authentic, the best and easiest to use crypto collectibles platform for licensed content. And it looked sick. I was in charge of communicating with partners, licensors, investors, and anybody else who could support us on our mission to create the largest licensed digital collectibles platform in the world. Now the biggest challenge? Well, obtaining a license from the NFL, NHL, MLB, or NBA. Realizing we were a no-name dev team from Eastern Europe, we knew we desperately needed social validation in order for licensors to take us seriously. Thankfully, there was one person in my network who I knew through a past project who briefly played in the NFL. I explained the situation to him and he kindly introduced us to his friend, an 8-season veteran of the NFL, a Super Bowl champ, the one and only Pittsburgh Steelers, Ryan Mundy.
And this is Ryan Mundy off the deflection, the former Pittsburgh Steeler, and takes the ball to the 1-yard line. And Ryan Mundy comes up with the interception and sets up a 1st and goal.
And Ryan, being a crypto investor himself, he agreed to the meeting. My team and I hopped on the next flight from Prague to Chicago and we met Ryan at the Chicago Soho House. The task? To convince Ryan to join Authentic.
We came here to meet Ryan Mundy, the ex-NFL player who showed interest in investing into Authentic digital cards. We had a 9-hour-long meeting and it looks like he will actually end up investing.
And guess what? With Ryan sitting on the licensing committee of the NFL Players Association, our doors were wide open. But as our conversations with the Players Associations progressed, we realized that we were not the only cool kids on the block. At that very same time, there was one other team negotiating licenses for a very similar purpose. And we confirmed our belief after CryptoKitties launched its very first NBA licensed digital collectible. And this is where it got complicated for us. Since we were no longer the only company looking to gain licensing rights for the digital collectible space, the licensors were suddenly in position of power and the bidding war began. We were asked to put hundreds of thousands of dollars up front for non-exclusive licenses, which was way out of our range. And at that time, another bomb of bad news fell on top of our heads. Dapper Labs, the company behind CryptoKitties, just signed a funding round led by Andreessen Horowitz. Now, as a team from Eastern Europe with limited resources, we kind of had to secure outside funding to even have the smallest chance of competing with Dapper Labs. So we kicked off conversations with investors from New York and San Francisco, and we were even selected for final round interviews at Y Combinator.
We're still getting in.
However, with the total crash of crypto prices in the spring of 2018, investors were skeptical of the space and we ran out of time, funds, and did not persevere to continue working on the project. Dapper Labs later went on to raise another $250 million, valuing their company at $7.6 billion, which pretty much allowed them to offer any price for licenses, and NBA Top Shots is the result. We were crushed and we closed shop. Despite this bittersweet experience, I still see a huge future for the NFT space. Projects of enormous scale will be built bottom-up by the community. NFTs are already transforming the intellectual property industry, gaming, finance, and are creating cult-like communities around brands with unseen engagement. Projects that can bring utility, collectability, and economic incentives to the community will win. I'm David. Thank you so much for watching this video. I felt like I needed to share this with the world. If you want to discuss any topic, Web3 with me, tweet at me, or drop me a comment below. And see you later. Ciao.